as they can, so no one panic, there's more food, okay?
Okay, guys, so we're going to get started. So I apologise again. You know, we're a little bit behind schedule. Hopefully everyone's had some food. If you haven't, there's still food coming. Okay, you know. So first of all, for players that have been here before and players that are new, I think it's a great lesson tonight. Is what Malaga City is about. Really, it says here, "Welcome to our family," and that's sincere. And you know, you're going to have to be adaptable. You know, especially coming off the year that we've all come off, living through in all your countries, over here, everywhere where we've been with COVID. We're so proud as a football club and as an institution that we had such a strong season last year. Players that were here, we know the efforts that coaching staff went to, the logistics guys went to make sure we didn't miss training sessions. We had facilities to use. We had games. We still played every single league game. I think Malaga City, obviously, round of applause for them for finishing champions. Massive round of applause. And to play a full league season without having one game cancelled was huge testament to a lot of people. And that comes from being patient, from believing in an individual goal, that everyone's rowing in the same direction. And again, you know, like I say, tonight we haven't started as smoothly as we want to. So first of all, an apology from myself that we're kicking off a little bit late, but you know, we really just wanted it to be a little bit more romantic for everyone in a very beautiful setting. Okay, so we'll get straight into the presentation. James is going to be here with me. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is James Dawes. I look after a lot of the recruitment here and also the media. So I just want to say, you know, you're at the start of what's going to be an unbelievable journey. You know, myself, I'm relatively new here. I've been here over a year, just over a year now. And time flies, you know, so without being too cheesy, relish every moment of it. You're making new relationships every day. I know you got to, you know, the chance to get to the field earlier, but it really does go by in a flash. And if you're not careful, it'll go by in the blink of an eye. So relish every moment of it. We're delighted to have you all here. For those that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, you know, I'm excited to see you play, to see you around the club. But like George says, hopefully you get the idea from this presentation, from speaking with our staff. Everybody cares about one common goal here, and that's you guys. You know, we want you to be successful. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to another unbelievable season. This is by far the biggest and best the academy has ever been. And with that, there's more opportunity than ever. So yeah, excited to get going.
Okay, so obviously, you know, we've started this year. We're working now in two centres, okay? So, you know, we've divided, divide and conquer, hopefully. We're working, carrying on with our hub here in Almuñecar, where we have our senior football and teams that will play in federated leagues. And then we have, obviously, the U19s and downwards that we're based out of Estepona, okay? So thanks again for making the effort and the journey down here today. We wanted you to have a little bit of the essence and come and see where we've started and where we're looking to build, okay? You know, so we're going to run through fairly quickly some important faces, some ugly ones as well, to be honest, and let you know who you're going to be working with and what kind of coaches you're going to have this year, okay? You know, we've got a vast array of experience, unbelievable talent, people that I'm proud to call colleagues, people that I learn from every single day, on the pitch and off the pitch, and people that are going to give you absolutely everything, as James touched on there, you know. So if the following coaches can stand up, so we've got Victor Franco, working myself at Almuñecar City. I don't know if he's giving pizza somewhere, he's already standing up. Shem, former player, won't get you up here to say any words today, but fantastic story. So he's been sat where you guys are in black a long time ago now. He's now progressed through the club, gone from the academy to the senior teams, been part of a couple of promotions, fantastic goalkeeper, and now obviously working with our FC Malaga City senior team. We've got Paco coming on this year, Liam Bickett, assistant coach with the female team. Sam is unwell today. Charlie, whereabouts are you? Make yourself known. And then we've got the head coach of FC Malaga City, so sort of the top of the pyramid right now. We're so lucky as an academy to not have to make partnerships anymore, and not have to make progression routes with other clubs. We've now got our own 5th division team, which allows every player sat here, of course on the male side, to have the chance to progress through to a fantastic level of semi-professional football. It's our first ever hit out, our first time that we're going to play at such a high level, and it's testing the unknown, but we're still going to stick to what we believe, which is giving young people an opportunity. Myself, having come through academy systems and gone into first team football, I was one of the lucky players that was fortunate enough to go on and keep playing men's football, but so many players, we find that from U19 football, they try and go to men's, and there's a big roadblock. So we believe in young players. We believe in giving untested players an opportunity. And that's a passion that I have personally and that we transmit to the staff, you know. So even though we're going into the 5th division this year, we're now 1 away from the Tercera, which, if you don't know, that's where the professional leagues start here in Spain. We're going to carry on. The players that have come back this year, I think they'll agree and see the squad's even younger than last year. You know, we've kind of used the old dogs to get there, and now it's really your time to shine, you know, and it's what we always believed in, what we want. We want that platform that if you come here at 16, 17 years old, you work hard, you've got the chance to progress through to our very own senior team, whether that's a route through under 20s, under 23s previously, or whether you're lucky enough, you know, we had last year, Cameron, who's still here, Angel, went straight from our U19s. They started in that squad, and they were a huge part of the promotion last year. And a big round of applause for Angel as well, who gave us a huge representation at Mallorca last week. Well done, buddy. And so I'd like to invite to the stage Juan Carlos Añón. So incredible coach, incredible football career. Played for Malaga legend, and gone on to even manage Malaga in La Liga. We're very lucky to have him here as our head of all the senior academy. So Juan Carlos, we'll give him a round of applause as he's on his way up to the stage.
I just want to say, while Juan Carlos is making his way up as well, my apologies to Javi and Aya because I've left him off that list there. But for those of you that know, Javi is a fantastic person. He's obviously going to be one of the coaches for the U23 teams this year. So my apologies, Javi.
Buenas noches. I'm very nervous and exciting. I'm very happy at the same time. My English is not very good, how you see, how you hear. But I am very proud to belong to this family. When I came 2 years ago, I find the people, the coaches, the staff, the players, very exciting. They want to learn, they want to play, they want to make efforts to be footballers, professional players. And from them, we try to learn. We try to you enjoy playing football. We try to put in practice another way, our pattern, but it's not the best, but it's our pattern. And guys, very proud. It's a big responsibility, okay? Because you have come here to play football, to learn, and we try to make the best of us to teach you. You improve your level, okay? It's all from my part. Thank you for coming and welcome to this family, okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juan Carlos. Before we move on to the Estepona staff, I want to talk a little bit as well about, you know, apart from the promotion last year, which kind of stole the headlines and you know, for us was a project of working for 4 years. You know, we started in the lower divisions and worked through them, and you know, huge credit to Adrian Dominguez and Juanma for Alvaro as well for seeing that home last year. But a massive part and something that was amazing for me from last year was the inauguration of our Femenino team. You know, huge credit to the players that came. They came into the unknown. I think James sort of got on his database and got his scouting hat on, and, you know, players came over without knowing where we were coming from, how we were going to work, and you know, to see again, we've not only got a fantastic group of players coming in that we want to go one step better. Obviously, losing in the semi-final, was gut-wrenching. But to be able to bring in a coach like Jose Herrera, for me, as an academy director, is an absolute privilege. His curriculum speaks for himself, and his dedication since the day he's kind of touched down here has shown us all that he can bring a lot to the table, not just as a coach, but as a coach educator within our club. And I'd like to invite him to the stage just to have a little bit of a talk about his expectations and where he's looking to take the program this year. Big round of applause, please.
Well, hello to everybody. First of all, obviously, I want to say thank you to George, because from the first day that we started speaking, about the project of the Femenino until today, it's have been, like a lot of conversation, sharing time about the project that he have in mind for the Femenino. First of all, it's so important for me. I don't want to forget no one, but I cannot see a lot from here now, but I want to thank as well first of all to Victor Franco, that I know that he started with the project, from the beginning. Also, I want to say thank you. I don't want to forget no one, but I want to say thank you to Adrián Domínguez, and just congratulate him from the nice job that he have done last season, also with the help of Alvaro and all his staff, and Pablo, So now I'm just like trying to continue what we start doing. As George said, well, I've been so lucky to have the opportunity to be coaching in women's third division in Spain for 4 seasons as an assistant, as a tactical analyst. Then after that, I got the privilege to be the head coach of the Malaga CF Femenino team. After that, I went to Granada CF. And after living all of this experience in a top-level class with a lot of pressure to win every day in every training, just this opportunity comes to me. We start talking. It was something that I really liked from the beginning because of the environment. Our main idea this season with the female players are try to make you to feel close to the professional reality in terms of training inside, the field also outside, take care of yourself, your nutrition, your sleep, to control everything. And in our humble opinion and way, to try to keep increasing your tactical understanding of the game, the tactical level. Also, I'm more than open to keep learning with my colleagues and with my, coaching staff. Also, I said to James, because we are working together still on the recruiting to keep increasing the level of the female team. So, George, thank you to make me be part of this family. I think there is going to be such an stunning journey together. Sometimes things go up and down, but we keep going. So this is important thing. So thanks to everyone. Let's enjoy this. And let's train tomorrow again. That for me is the most important thing, to come back to the field. So thank you. Thanks to everyone. Gracias. Muchas gracias, George.
So, as I'm sure you're aware, obviously, the project in Estepona, this is our first year. Being there was a huge jump for the academy, having, been here for a number of years in Almuñecar. It's an opportunity that we feel we couldn't turn down from the standpoint of the opportunity that provides for you as players in the academy system. Now, Jose just touched on there, one of our main goals is to provide you with what is a professional environment and a professional reality. And I think, speaking with you and interacting with the academy guys now, that's obviously been your first impressions. And these guys are going to help you throughout the season to carry that on. One of the things when I'm talking to people about this academy, and one of the common questions that I get is always, what's special about your academy? What's special? Why should I come here over going elsewhere? And for me, the personnel around this, around this venue right now, the people on the board, the people that aren't on the board are the reason why, So you've got a few names there. I know Adrián I'm going to put you on the spot here, but I don't know if you want to come up and say a few words. Adrian, for you guys that don't know him, has been here since the conception of the academy. He's a huge figure around the club. So, Adrian, if you would like to come and say a few words.
Jane. Okay. First thing is welcome to everyone. Okay, my English is not well, so I will speak quick. Okay. So our leader is Sean. Okay, he's an amazing person, amazing coach. Okay, so we are in a good hands in Estepona. Okay, so I feel that today we started a special season. It's first year in Estepona, and so I'm sure that we have everything to work well and to enjoy this season. We are in an excellent hotel, good facilities, a beautiful town. So it depends on you and coaches that if we work hard, we are going to learn, improve, and enjoy this season. Okay? Thank you.
Cata, ¿una palabra en inglés o...?
But just... Hello?
¡Ah, que viene! Un aplauso muy fuerte. Big round of applause.
Venga, ¿ya hay broma?
No. Bueno, habla.
Primeiramente, dar as graças a Joy por mais uma oportunidade de estar com vosotros. Eu creio que o futebol é muita disciplina que temos que ter durante esses meses. Disciplina, muita concentração, que é o que eu pido sempre a todos. Não? Eu creio que o futebol é uma coisa que tu tem que se dedicar muito, dia a dia. Então, é isso que comento para toda a academia e todos os chicos de Almuñeca. Muita disciplina, muita coragem de fazer as coisas e que podemos fazer bom trabalho esta temporada com muita disciplina e com muita coisa que temos que demonstrar cada dia. Graças.
Charlie? Flor?
We'll get subtitles later for that one.
Get Charlie.
Thank you very much. Amazing for us to be able to have a former Spanish international in the coaching staff. Amazing player to learn lots from. We'll just check if James is having a...
Yes. Oh, I'm back on.
If I come.
Está bien.
Okay, so obviously you've got your head coaches, you've got your football staff, you've got your assistant coaches, but that's not what makes a football club tick. And, today in modern football, it's about being a complete player. And, for that's something that we take on very seriously. And, you think maybe you want to be on the balls all the time, extra personal sessions, 11v11, 5-a-sides. But for us, it's vitally as important, all the other small details, and being 1% better than you were the day before. Controlling training loads, making sure we know if players are getting injured, why they're getting injured, how can we improve you physically, how can we make sure and predict when injuries can come. And so we have a huge amount of staff that work on the other side of the game, sports scientists, strength and conditioning coaches, logistics staffs, physios. We now have incorporated a Pilates and spinning instructor, which is a massive modern part of football. And you'll have sessions this season also on the bikes and things like that. And then, of course, it comes down at the bottom to the logistics guys. You wouldn't be able to have events like this, although maybe they need to do a bit better because, the pizzas took a while to come. But jokes aside, you wouldn't be able to have all this running, buses coming to pick you up, lunch when you need your food, stadium tours, all of these things without the fantastic work of lots and lots of people. And I want to give a massive round of applause to a special person at his club who's been here as a player and as a staff member for 4 years now. But this year, he's been a massive right-hand man for myself in enabling us to secure the Estepona facilities. He works tirelessly, picks up the phone anytime, night or day, and a huge round of applause for Ivan Parra from everyone, please.
Just want to say on that as well, we haven't included obviously the media team. You know, there's more and more people behind the scenes that are obviously working tirelessly to give you guys the best coverage, the best exposure they can. You know, we've got Flo, Harry, and a big shout out to CheersMate, Braden, Mark at the back, and of course Richard Jackson as well. We're live streaming today. This provides you guys with unprecedented access to reach out to a global audience, you know, and I don't think it'd be fair without saying thank you to those guys, putting a lot of hours so that your parents, you know, coaches, everybody can experience this experience with you guys. Okay, so big shout out to them. Nick, on the next slide, we wanted to really give you a feel of what it means to work here. Okay, so this is from last season, so I apologize, it's a little bit outdated, but I believe it gives you a good sense of what it means to the people that work here, and hopefully you'll get that idea from this video.
Un seul mot, la passion. Familia.
Opportunity.
Passion.
Rêve. Oportunidad para los chicos.
One family. Destiny. Football is life, so it's been everything for me my entire life. You know, I came up in a family of people who all played, all loved and lived and breathed the game, and it's been my #1 passion for as long as I can remember. And you know, I take joy now in trying to instill that into other players coming into the next generation.
El fútbol para mí es mi vida.
Love. Played football ever since I was a kid, so it's just love for the game.
A mejorar como futbolistas, a mejorar como personas, a tener respeto por los rivales y a intentar superarse cada día, a intentar ser mejor jugador. Significa también ser solidario, saber trabajar en equipo, saber trabajar por tu grupo e intentar conseguir éxitos. Al final se trata de conseguir éxitos, tanto a nivel particular como a nivel colectivo.
Le football, c'est pour moi beaucoup. On y consacre notre vie, comme beaucoup d'entraîneurs ici. Mais c'est aussi le reflet de la vie en société, finalement, avec les différentes classes sociales, les différentes éducations différentes, peu importe où dans le monde. Et pour moi, c'est le reflet aussi du jeu, parce que la vie ne vaut d'être vécue que par le plaisir y la joie, et le football en reflète.
Para mí lo que me gusta más es que yo ahora mismo estoy trabajando en mi pasión. Yo todas las mañanas cuando me levanto, ponerme la ropa de Malaga City Academy para mí es un orgullo porque estoy haciendo lo que más me gusta. Mi principal afición en mi vida, que es el fútbol, y el fútbol para mí ahora mismo es mi trabajo, con lo cual estoy bastante contento con eso.
I think, like everyone here, football is an obsession. It's easy to say it's everything, but for me it's a lot more than that. It's given me my life values and my life lessons, and everything that is in my character and the person I am, I owe to football. It's a love affair that started at a very young age, and one that I can't ever see being broken. Not in my wildest ambitions could I expect to be stood here today with the club structure that we had. You know, we've gone from starting with a group of 8 players that came in for a 28-day camp. You know, that started off by renting 4 double bedrooms in Nerca Club Hotel, and to be standing here now, you know, with 2 of the originating people alongside me, Adrian and Alvaro, it certainly is a very emotional experience and a very proud experience, something that you enjoy day to day. You know, we're now looking at 40 staff, 7 teams across the club plus the female project. It's mind-blowing that we've been able to, with hard work, with determination, relentless drive and belief in these young people, we've been able to get to a point now where we're working globally with clubs and universities across the world.
Pues mi expectativa es mejorar y mejorar y mejorar en cada año, es trabajar duro, es mucha humildad y mucho hambre, y es lo que demostramos y intentamos enseñar a nuestros jugadores, que el sacrificio es lo más importante y que sin esfuerzo no hay éxito, y es lo que...
Special part about this project is that the players get an opportunity to train on a daily basis. They're exposed to high-level football that they wouldn't necessarily see in their own countries. They're also exposed to high-level coaches that they wouldn't see in their own countries. We're really fortunate to have coaches not only from Spain but from around the world who have knowledge of different playing styles, and they're giving the information to players so that they can excel here, but also if they don't have that opportunity here to progress, they can take that knowledge back to their own country and really improve the football there as well.
Para mí, lo más especial de este club y de este proyecto es la ilusión por formar a jóvenes talentos que quieren llegar a ser profesionales.
The people and the commitment of the people who are here, so the belief in the project, the belief in what we're doing and doing it the right way and creating every chance possible for the benefit of every player who walks through those doors.
Funciona como un club profesional. Yo considero que esta academia no es una academia cualquiera, es una academia que está sentando las bases para lograr, para llegar a ser una academia profesionalizada.
¿Cuál es el proyecto para ti?
Pues especial es que yo comparto mi pasión y profesión con compañeros, pero que a la vez son amigos. Eso es muy bonito y no hay nada más especial que el dedicarte a tu hobby, a tu profesión y a tu amor, que es el fútbol.
We're one big football family. We believe in that to the end, and we believe in being humble and that hard work and belief can allow you to achieve your dreams. The main difference from when we started to now is when we started we were nobody. You know, we were 2 or 3 coaches, you know, with a bag of balls, cones and bibs, doing the best we could for these players, and a huge credit to the inaugural teams, because from their efforts and their work and their performances, we've really grown the reputation that we are working with the best unsigned professional players that are out there, and that's now opened so many doors and so many opportunities for the players that come into the club now. You know, we started off with our first big game against Malaga. You know, now you're talking about getting interest from your Benficas, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona's we're playing against, and that wouldn't have been possible at the outset. You know, that's taken a long journey, a lot of hard work, and fantastic people that have come on board at the club and continue to push it to the next level.
There's been some pretty significant changes, you know, from starting out where we were in Torrox when I first arrived to, you know, our new base now here in Almuñecar, the number of people that we have both in the staff and in the academy, the standard of the players that are coming in, the standard of the games that we're getting on a regular basis. It's growing and becoming bigger and bigger every single year, and we're starting to see that in more of the opportunities for all the players, and just everything grows every single year, which shows that we're doing things the right way.
Amo a mis compañeros, a mis equipos y a todos el staff. El trabajar día a día con tus amigos, tus compañeros, es muy bonito.
Me gusta que puedo desarrollar mi trabajo con plena libertad. Me gusta que tenemos acceso a las instalaciones con bastante facilidad. Me gusta que podemos tener los medios para mejorar el nivel de los chicos. En cuanto a sesiones de vídeo, en cuanto a reuniones, en cuanto a trabajo técnico, táctico en el campo, en cuanto a trabajo físico en la herradura, o sea, que todo esto hace que un profesional se sienta bien y que esté bien apoyado por todos estos medios.
Again, the people. So the people you meet, from the academy players who come from all different backgrounds, from all areas of the world, to the people that I'm fortunate enough to work with on a daily basis. Just some of the best people that I've come in encounter with, and it makes it a joy to come to work every single day.
Ce que j'aime en travaillant tous les jours et en me levant chaque matin, c'est toujours cette même volonté de pouvoir transmettre auprès des plus jeunes cette éducation à travers le sport, ce professionnalisme aussi et cette volonté de devenir un athlète professionnel un jour. Et ce qui me nourrit au quotidien, c'est le partage et l'enrichissement du staff, ici du staff technique, peu importe les catégories, peu importe les origines d'un point de vue de l'académie, que ce soit Almuñecar ou Malaga. Je trouve que c'est encore plus stimulant et encore plus nourrissant au quotidien.
To make it better. So to find out it was already at a good standard, but the objective is to always make things better when you're a part of something. And so that's my biggest task, is to make it better. So every player that comes here, each successive year has more opportunity than the players that came before them.
Ambición es crecer en todos los aspectos, como persona, como entrenador, y el transmitir eso a los jugadores, que sean buenas personas, buenos jugadores, y así llegaremos lejos como club y como personas también.
Ce que j'espère pour le club, c'est qu'il puisse continuer à monter de division en division, année après année, et puis aller au plus haut niveau possible. Ça serait super d'avoir une équipe professionnelle dans les premières divisions, et puis pouvoir avoir des petits jeunes qu'on puisse aider et installer dans des clubs pro aussi, ou pourquoi pas nous, quand on aura une équipe professionnelle, avoir nos propres joueurs qu'on a fabriqués, entre guillemets.
When you mentioned it there, but what does it take to be a staff member at FC Malaga City?
You have to just be really willing to sacrifice. So you have to be willing to give your time, give your effort. You know, you have to do a little more than just be a football coach here. Okay, it's much more of a lifestyle here than it is just turning up, coaching, and going home. You know, it's a life commitment to be a part of this. So the players will rely on you. They're far from home, and they need that support from us. And so we have to provide that for them on and off the pitch. And so it requires a lot of long hours, a lot of late nights, getting messages at any hour, and then just being willing to, put things aside and help the players when they need it, because again, they come first. To put things aside and help the players when they need it, because again, they come first.
Amazing, great work from James putting that together last year, by the way. That was unbelievable. But it makes you emotional just seeing it. And what I love is how genuine the messages are from so many of the coaches in there. And I think you can see how much this club means to us, that it's not just a job, it's not just a football club. I think Sean summed it up fantastically there, that it's a lifestyle. We give everything every single day, and all we want is as many opportunities as possible for every single young player. More and more players are getting the chance to turn professional. It's a difficult journey, and we're very realistic and honest about that. And from the byproduct of the hard work and the talented players that come, as we mentioned before, we're one league away from being a professional club ourselves. And that's been a dream of mine since 2013, and being one step away from that, I probably, as much as I wanted it, probably didn't believe that it was going to be this close at such an early possibility. So You know, for me as well, only advice I'd have, and it's on here, you know, I'm sure you read it already, but there's individual goals, you know, for every player, and you can't be concerned about what Charlie's doing or what David's doing or this one, okay? You need to know that you're on your own individual journey, and whether that means you're ready in 3, 6, 12, 18 months to start looking at the next step, that's going to be different for every single player. And you've got to concern yourself on, how can I be better? How can I do what I need to do to make me the best I can be? And not worried about what other people are doing. If someone gets called to go to a club, why isn't that me? I'm better than him. Well, obviously, that wasn't the opinion of that football team. That's what's great about this sport that we love. It's not boxing. It's not tennis. You don't win or lose, okay? It's about opinions. And we need a minimum of 11 people just to start a game. And it's all about the squad to be able to finish a game. You know, so for me, buy into the family, buy into the team atmosphere, because the better the team, the better each individual is going to look. I'm a massive advocate for that, and we've shown that with the senior teams and FC Malaga City and Almuñecar City, that we're having huge success on the pitch with promotions, great goals, good points, good statistics, and that's drawn interest in those players from those teams. Those players bought into being a team, and they weren't concerned about, why have I not got a trial, why have I not gone to here, and things like that, okay? So that would be my main advice to every single player sat here now coming into the season. Worry about what you can affect and not what you can't affect.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I think the bottom bit of that quote there, you know, trusting your teammates and your coaches in particular. There'll be people that have come here that have been the best player in, you know, your club teams, your areas, your regions, whatever the case may be. You're coming into an environment now that's replicated that of a professional club. So there's going to be times where coaches put you in different positions. You're outside your comfort zone. They may be telling you to try and, you know, apply your trade in a different team. And there's going to be frustration, you know. But it's about trusting in the process, you know, trusting in the people around you. You know, the vast experience. We've had Spanish internationals on stage today. A number of players and coaches here, have been in a professional environment, you know. So trust is the key word there for me.
So a little bit, you know, we know we're starting late, so we'll look to speed through a couple of bits, but this presentation will be forwarded on to everyone as well. But a little bit about our philosophy, how we're looking to work. You know, the main thing I want to touch on is that, you know, we want to play possession football, but progressive possession. It doesn't mean that we keep the ball in our own half, playing from the goalkeeper to the centre-back and out to the full-back and back again. We want to possess the ball but be dangerous, and we'll look to show you different methods, different ways of how to do that and how to be effective. You know, we're going to be the underdog in a lot of games. We're playing a huge calibre and a huge level of opposition. For those players that have played last year, you know how different it is here, the tempo in Europe, how good the players are on the ball in tight spaces. And it would be easy for us as a coaching staff to set us up defensively, look to play on a counter-attack, and be somewhat negative. And maybe we'd get a little bit more success results-wise. You know, for us, the results aren't the key. It's the player development. And we think by having the ball, every player is going to be a better technician, a better football player, a more attractive football player to clubs, and also going to have more time on the ball to show their talents and showcase themselves to potential clubs. So we're brave. Again, James has touched on frustration there. It's going to be a tough process. It's going to be a learning process that we're working with a new group of players to play a possession-based football. As me and Juan Carlos talk about a lot, that takes 2, 3, sometimes 4 years working with the same groups of players. You know, with our environment, we don't have that luxury. But that doesn't mean that we don't take the challenge on. You know, so you'll be challenged again tactically. You'll be getting asked a lot of different things. That'll be the main difference coming into European football, is that the tactical side of the game is a lot more important. And you're going to be tested mentally more than ever, not just from a football point of view, but there's going to be homesickness. There'll be every player here that will go through a moment. They will miss mum's cooking, not having mum doing the washing. You know, some players last year made the sacrifice to stay here all through Christmas, through Easter. I know a lot of you guys have Thanksgiving. And that's the level that you're at now. It's not what you want to achieve. It's what you're prepared to do to try and achieve that. Because I can tell you, the higher up the level you go, and as it starts bottlenecking, it's not always the player with the most talent, and often it's not. It's the player that's prepared to do more than the other one and make more sacrifices to be where they want to get to.
So mentality, it's one of the biggest things in football. It's the thing that will get you through the hard times. It will get you to the top as well, you know. We've talked about the, you know, setbacks along the way. I think they're inevitable, but it's about how you bounce back. And the amount of times I'm speaking with players and they tell me, James, I want to be a professional footballer. I want it so bad. And you find out very, very quickly that some players are in love with the idea of being a professional footballer, you know, the money, the cars, the fame that comes with it, and not necessarily in love with the idea of what it takes to be a professional footballer. And what it takes is hard work, dedication. I think Catania touched on that as well. And the lifestyle, you know, do you live the life of a professional footballer? Do you sleep well? You know, are you stretching? Are you working out in your spare time? Are you eating well? These are all little details, what we call the 1% that add up and eventually get you to where you want to be as your end goal. So there's some, you know, there's various points up on that board. What we would say is the people that we've had success with and the people that move on to professional clubs, if you talk to them, you quickly identify that they possess a lot of these habits, you know, this mentality. So it's no mistake, you know, and there's a reason for that. So, George, I don't know if you want to add to that, if you're happy or not.
Yeah, I think the only one I really want to touch on there is the leave your ego at the door. We're all coming from different backgrounds, different levels, and like James said, you may have been a standout superstar where you were playing. You know, we start from zero. You know, we're all wearing the same badge now, so it doesn't matter if you've come from being the top goal scorer the last 3 years, or if you've had the most clean sheets, or I played for my national team. We're all wearing the same badge, and we're all here working at the same thing. You know, so for me, it's massive that you're humble and you want to learn. You want to learn from your coaches and also from your teammates as a footballer, but more as a person. You know, so if you're sat right now on induction at Real Madrid Academy or Manchester City Academy, the most likely thing is for those players is they won't become a professional, and that's the harsh reality. And unfortunately, the same goes for us sat here. We're going to work as hard as possible to help the players get the tools they need to have an opportunity. But I say to all families that if the only thing you got better at in the next 10 months was how to improve your weaker foot, we've done you a disservice. We want to show you life values. We want to show you to be a better young person and transferable skills that are going to take you into the rest of your life, your next football club, your college, or into your line of work, you know. And so for me, learn from people that you're meeting. You're meeting people from all over the world, from different backgrounds, different religions, different cultures. What a special opportunity to learn something about yourself over the next 10 months.
So we're going to go into a little bit about, you know, the training lifestyle expectations. Of course, this will differ between the academy and more the senior team setups, but we're going to touch on a few anyway. Pre-training, I talked about the 1%. This is one of the aspects where you can improve upon that, you know, and be physically prepared. For a lot of you, the full 10-month European season, you've never experienced before, you know. You've never experienced training every day. And for those of you that have, you know it's not easy. You know, to stay on top of your physical health is imperative. You know, you want to be out there as much as possible on the field, playing in the big games. And you know, this is definitely one aspect that's going to help you to achieve that. So pre-training routine, their arrival time. Players that, you know, are expected to receive treatment from a physio, and again, you can coordinate that. The physios are fantastic at what they do, and they're highly communicative with you, so they'll let you know this. But you're expected to arrive at minimum 20 minutes before meet-up time at training, okay, to allow for time for taping and whatever the case may be, whether that's a massage, you know, prehab, that sort of thing. What I would say on that is don't wait until you're injured to see the physios. You know, stay on top of it. If there's anything you can do to be proactive in that instance, take that advantage. You've got a fantastic team around you and make the most of it. Punctuality. Early is on time. You know, on time is late, and that's our philosophy here. You've got a coaching staff that's ready to work from minute one, and you know you're expected to be there both in a mental capacity. Just because you're there physically doesn't mean you're there, you know, what you should be. Equipment, you know, it goes without saying, bringing the proper boots, trainers for running sessions. You're working with your physical coaches in double sessions. It's imperative that you have the right equipment. Appearance, carry yourself like a professional for those of you that have them goals, you know, and I mentioned that goes far past, you know, just playing on the pitch. So there's a few, you know, little bits there, jewelries, headphones, hats, all them sort of things, the key indicators, okay, to a coach how serious you are about this game. And absences. Now, each coach will have their own policies on this, but, you know, it goes without saying that you need to be communicative with your coaches. If you're injured, if you've got a little knock, you need to be letting your coaches know. They put hours and hours into the preparation of each session. I'm working with a bunch on a regular basis and seeing the detail they go in. So they, you know, for their sake, for the quality of the session, it's important that you're communicating that with them. So train the way you play. So we've talked about the prehab and pre-training, and now we're looking at training the way you play. What we try to create here at Malaga City is an internally competitive environment where players can't afford to become complacent, because if you're complacent, there's a guy in the chair next to you or a girl in the chair next to you that will quickly take your place. We promote that. We want healthy competition, and ultimately, again, touching on the guys that have got goals to play professionally or play at a high level, that's what you can expect. It's dog eat dog, and you take what you can get in that aspect. So 5 little points there: concentration, standards, responsibility, competitiveness, and questions. Questions is the one that's most interesting for me, guys. And when I'm speaking to the players will know this that I've recruited, I encourage you. I see the people on the stage. Juan Carlos, it's a pleasure to work with him, and even me as a worker, I'm constantly picking his brain, at the age I'm at now, and still trying to learn and evolve. You young people sat in this room have got a tremendous opportunity to develop and learn this year, and I plead with you to take full advantage of that. And I've talked to you again, I'll mention it one more time, that goes far past just turning up on time, playing and going home. You've got some highly experienced people around you, and I want you to take full advantage of that. And standards. George touched on it there. Standards is not necessarily the standard of the overall group. It starts with you as a person. It starts with being punctual. It starts with your appearance. All unrelated, football aspects, but so important in terms of the overall goal. And of course, if you look after your own standards and the person to your left and to your right looks after theirs, you're going to be in for a very, very successful season.
And I think just adding in on that one as well, obviously it's on the screen there, train the way you play, but if you're asking yourself and your expectations for yourself are to go to a professional club, ask yourself, was I the best player at practice today? Because if you're not the best player or in the top 3 of your team and we're already the underdog, how can we expect to then have that opportunity, or that we deserve that opportunity to go on? And that's not playing well in one game. Okay, that's being day in, day out, and that's going to be the challenge for a lot of players here. Sometimes come from the States or Australia, etc. The seasons are a lot shorter, and as James was discussing, 10 months is a long time. There's no days off. And that doesn't mean that you're there thrashing yourself every day. But when it's time to rest, it's time to rest. That's a big part of training as well. And, we've got a great comment on there from Pele there, success is no accident. But for me, one that's always stuck with me is every day is an interview. And as Zidane said, you're only as good as your last game. So don't ever get complacent. It's not that I scored 3 in the last game. This week in training, I've been trash all week. Every day, like James says, the second you relax, okay, it's the second you're vulnerable. So you need to demand from yourself, how can I be the best version of me every day when I wake up? And how can I try and be the best player on the pitch every session, everything I'm asked to do by the coaches?
Yeah, and then just to finish off their post-training routine, I think we'll fly through this, but again, when you get to this level where you're at a professional club, or in that environment, you're looking at things like cool down and recovery, like we've touched upon, the length of the season, the intensity of the sessions, especially in the part of the season you're at now where you're competing, against each other, and it's very, very intense. It's important that you're looking after your body. Again, working with our, physical preparation staff, your strength and conditioning. You've got a fantastic sports scientist in Ryan Bowen, who's always available for questions, and for anybody that wants to get some extra knowledge. Just little details as well. All gear to be gathered by play. Don't leave it to your coach. We understand that you're here, and you've worked hard to be here. But respect the club, respect the badge, and respect the staff. And I think that goes helping out after training, being helpful where you can. You talked about there, you've all, in terms of the handbook that you received and things like that, take care of your own personal development. You're wearing GPS trackers, make sure you're managing that detail, you're filling out your logbook and just taking them 1% to improve. We also will implement a system where you're weighing in and weighing out. Take care of your weight. Again, it's very, very hot here for players that are coming from, different environments. The sun's a killer. So make sure you're getting the right fluids on board, the right hygiene, eat and sleep well. I underestimated the power of sleep. A lot of late nights and eating rubbish. And you'll quickly find the people that are successful, you speak about them, and it's one of the things they take very, very, very seriously, okay? So whether it's downloading an app on your phone to keep track of it, or just from your own standpoint, holding yourself to, again, high standards, I think that's important. Meetings and team functions, okay? things like this, video analysis sessions, team bonding events, the do's and don'ts. And again, I fully expect everybody to be in the green column here, but arriving to meetings early, the right attitude and ready to learn. A bit of a spelling mistake there, I apologise. But video analysis sessions, these, again, from my experience, these are the areas that I see the difference in how serious people are about what they want to achieve in this sport. Some people use it as a chance to sleep. Some people switch off and they're not processing that information, but it's key information. And ask anybody that's been at any level here, this is one of the key aspects of your development, watching what you did well, analysing the opponent's game, and making sure you're fully prepared for upcoming games. It's something that you'll be introduced to this season if you've not already. Team gear, you've got all the kit packs now, and all the gear, so always wearing that to team functions and events, and come prepared. You might take the mickey out of you next year for coming with a notepad to a video analysis session, but what that says to a coach is this guy's serious. This guy wants to reach that next level. As silly as it sounds, those details you can't take for granted, and as George says, worry about yourself, don't worry about other people, so
So obviously this year we're working with Ryan Bowen and the guys, okay? So, we're tracking a lot of the data. We get as much data as we can, which is realistic to the budget that we have. There'd be lots of gadgets and lots of things that the guys would want. But having this year as well, the clinic here in Almuñecar, that's going to allow us to really amplify that section of what we're doing as a club. And again, a lot of it is to predict injuries, to stop injuries from happening and to keep you healthy and on the pitch as much time as possible. A little thing just as we're sort of wrapping up the presentation, and what I'd like to say for myself personally is, always communicate, okay? And I find young people these days, there's something that you lack, if it's on an application or if it's a WhatsApp, it seems a lot easier for you, which, is one way, but don't be afraid and don't be shy to speak to the people around you. And Reg, they're here for you. And the one thing I will say is they're very good people. That's something that we really exemplify ourselves on, is that we want people that care. We want people that are knowledgeable in football, but don't have an ego, that they're humble as well, and that they want to help the next generation of players. So James talking about questions, but if you've got a problem, no matter how small it may seem, reach out to all the various avenues you've got and the various staff, because very quickly when you're away from home, you're thousands of miles away, something very, very little can become very big very quickly and turn into a big problem. So some things can be nipped in the bud, and we're here to help you. And on the back of that one, you're here, you're starting now. Some people are coming in, everyone's coming from an off season. Some people have had a real disastrous scheduling with COVID and games being cancelled, training in small groups or not training at all. I'd expect you'd want a little bit of leeway. You'd want a little bit of time to say, let me get myself 100%, let me get myself as the best version, and firing all cylinders. That's the same for your coaches. We're coming in, we're making a lot of changes, we're very ambitious, we've got new facilities, we've got new clinics, we're constantly trying to better ourselves, so the same margin you'd like with your first touch getting better, or your weight going down a little bit, or getting a little bit fitter, I ask you to give that to your coaches as well. They're starting a new project with a new group of players, and they're trying to implement how they want to work. If everything's not perfect day one, it's the same as you're not going to be perfect day one, okay? So we're going to grow together and we're going to get better, and that's all I'd say is my final sort of bit of advice is look to be patient, to take a step back whenever you're feeling something, slow yourself down a bit. Is it as bad as I think it is? And then communicate as much as you can. Ask questions, communicate, let us know how you're feeling, and let us help you be the best version of yourselves.
So guys, we'll get through this pretty quickly. This differs obviously from team to team, academy versus senior teams and things like that. George, if you're happy, I think we'll just whiz through this. You'll have been told by your monitors and things like that. We've got a quick video next if we flip to the next slide.
Massive round of applause, by the way, for the media team. These videos are unbelievable.
Testing. So just to finish up, guys, again, you know, I'm sure you've been introduced to this already. Carrying yourself off the pitch as a pro, zero tolerance drug and alcohol policy. I'd hate to finish on something negative, but it's important that we get it across. You know, your lifestyle, personal experience. If you came here for a holiday, you're in the wrong place. Even you guys in Estepona living up in a hotel and resort. But you know, you're here for a reason, and make sure that you do everything you can. One thing we've not mentioned here: there's a lot of you that are taking some form of education requirement as well. The Spanish classes, things like that, are very, very important. You know, and coaches will enforce that to make sure that you are being successful on and off the field. Respect for the town that you live in. Without you knowing, guys, you're a representation of this club, this brand. The way you carry yourself in public, the way you speak to people, you know, is very, very important, and very important to you know, the outside community. These are the people that are showing up at your home games. These are the people that are, you know, giving you that extra bit of help when you need it, when you're feeling homesick, you know, when you pop to your local supermarket, you know, whatever the case may be. So make sure you show them the respect that's due. Sean Morris, I'm you know, gutted that he couldn't be here today, because he's such a character, and I know George says he loves this quote. So leave it in a better state than you found it. You know, that goes for every aspect of what you're doing. That goes from your room. That goes, you know, to the place, to the people around you. Have a positive impression. For you young guys here, you know, I think shout out Jacob Thompson, by the way, because he's a player, for example, that came here, you know, 3-4 years ago, was in the academy setup, went on to other opportunities afterwards, and then was invited back by George later on, off the back of having a good image, being, you know, polite and positive in the environments around you. And for you young players who are just starting out your careers, you know, you need to be making those relationships. You know, you never know when they're going to come in handy later on, so it's worth mentioning. George, anything else?
Yeah, we seem to sort his haircut out now, though.
Yeah. Do something about that, mate. Shocking.
But yeah, I think, you know, what I said to myself every year when I was playing full time, and what I'd challenge you guys with is, you're at an age where, you know, everyone understands there's a lot of temptation, there's a lot of other things aside from football, but ask yourself, if you're not prepared to sacrifice the party lifestyle, alcohol, trying to be out in bars and nightclubs and things like that for a 9-10 month window, you're kidding yourself if you think you're going to go anywhere in football. You know, you look at anyone at the top level now, you know, and that's 24/7 athlete, you know, and so that's something that I challenge you to. And aside from it being a club policy, it should also be your own values, okay? It should be your own values, and asking yourself who you are. Your families have made a big effort to get you across the world to be here. Don't be the person to let them down. Do not be the person to let them down. Give every single moment that you have here to develop yourself and better yourself. Give it all of yourself, okay?
So lastly, guys, it's a club motto of ours, Are You Next? You know, it stands for everything that we're about, for the success stories that we've had in the past, for the success that we'll have in the future. I think, without being cheesy, Lionel Messi said, you know, I spent 17 years in the making to be an overnight success, you know, and for you that are at the beginning of your journey now, that's what it's all about. You know, it's about putting in the work day to day. There's gonna, you know, it's a long, long season. And if only one or two of you from this big crowd of people right now take on board what advice we're giving you, we'll show you being you know, I'm sure you'll be successful in whatever, you know, aspects that you go into in life, whether that is within football or outside as well. So, you know, I know it's been long, so thank you for your attention. George, if you want to finish up with anything.
No, I just want to say best of luck to absolutely everyone, from the coaches to every single player. Give everything you have this year. Enjoy it most of all. Embrace it. And finally, also to my co-host, massive thank you for stepping in at the last minute and giving a big round of applause. Enjoy, guys. Safe trip home.